People like literally aren't connecting emotionally, and they're technically just marketing themselves. And we all know the person that they market is usually a big old propaganda. Like, it's not even the person they actually are. They just kind of show up as their best person for like 3 days, and then they start changing up after like 2 to 3 weeks. So I want to say to everyone, I think we can all have, I think there's someone for everyone. There's a reason like I have my tattoos that resemble love. I think there's love out there for everyone. It may just look a little different for our day and age. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, make sure you hit that subscribe button and become a part of the family because it gets lit over here. So a part of my dating and relationship series, I want to talk about the #1 topic, and it's why dating sucks for women in 2025. There's really just no winning for us, just as it is for men. #1, dating feels transactional now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I felt like this in the last 2 relationships I've been in. I felt like I was just there to give up the, you know, and it was just like, yes, to an extent, dating should be transactional, but I think there should be more. There should be love, care, nurture, protection, you know, things that make a great relationship. People like literally aren't connecting emotionally, and they're technically just marketing themselves. And we all know the person that they market is usually a big old propaganda. Like, it's not even the person they actually are. They just kind of show up as their best person for like 3 days, and then they start changing up after like 2 to 3 weeks. So I feel like dating apps themselves turn people into options. I know the common saying is that everybody feels like they have options, but no, it's like when you're on the dating app, they feel like, oh, I'm marketable to X, Y, and Z amount of people, even though you don't actually know how many people that is. So everyone just feels like they have options, and they are an option to everyone else. Everyone is literally waiting for the next best thing. You probably already met the best thing for you. It's probably just not what you had hoped it would be based on like the movies you saw, or like, you know, what you saw in your parents, uncles, aunts, and all that stuff. It's probably just not that. It just looks different for our generation or this day and age. Men want traditional benefits without playing the traditional role. And I'm not gonna, like, what I realized with all of that, it was that #1, I don't want to wash your clothes. I don't want to cook you food. I don't want to go the extra mile if we're not married. Like, why do you expect that from me as just being your girlfriend? And then most of the time, to these guys, you're not even considered their girlfriend. You're just someone they're talking to the whole time. You don't even know, because they've already convinced you that you are their girl. But to everybody else, you're just a girl they're talking to, or, oh, it's not that serious. Oh, she know what it is. You can't win for losing anyway. So all right, what do we do? I think a lot of the time women are punished for having standards, but also we get shamed for settling. So like when we settle and then we get mad because like it didn't work out, people be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have settled. But then when we have standards, it's like, oh, nobody's doing that for you. All right, so what do we do now? And then they be like, oh, pick better men. Be a better man. How about that one? Be better. I'll choose better. Who said that? Who said that? Oh my God. #3, there's a rise of red pill and podcast bros in social media, but just in general, I genuinely think I'm starting to see a lot of men who think just like that in public now, which is very, very scary, but I'm not surprised at all. I feel like the bottom line of red pill and podcast bro content, I want to say this, the bottom line is that when you reiterate what you hear on these podcasts, or you reenact what someone told you to do in the name of red pill, you are harming women. The only difference is that you're not upfront about it. You're just more sneaky and cowardly about it. I want to be clear, especially for you red pill warriors who are gonna get in my comments, and some of you pick-meshas who are internalized misogynists and don't know right from wrong and are just not all there. Let me be clear when I say I'm not looking for approval, denial, rejection, exception, agreement, or anything of the sort. So please do not get in my comments trying to play the morality card or ask me a stupid ass question you already know the answer to. Don't do it. Act like you know. I'm not saying any of this to prove a point. I already know what it is. I'm a woman and I've been a woman for 26 years. So I already know how this works. All right, so the next topic is standards and entitlement. When women state what we want, we're labeled as too picky, or a lot of men will be like, oh, well, can you give what you're asking for? Yes, the answer is yes. Most times women will only ask for stuff they can give in return, because if we're emotional creatures, why would we ask for something, the logical ones? Because I know there's some women out here who will ask for the world and can't give the world. But what I am saying is that why would we ask for something if we're emotional creatures, knowing that it's something we couldn't give back in return, or tenfold, like, or double it? Like, why would we not do, like, does that make sense? But when men have standards and they kind of just, you know, I think it's normalized that sometimes men treat women like shit. It's just, oh, they know what they want, or they're a grown man and they know what they want. They have standards. But when women have it, it's like, oh, you're asking for too much now. Be so for real. I think women are being gaslit and honestly just forced into lowering their standards, because sometimes men, not all men, because I know y'all about to be like, not all men, like, shut up, we know already, damn, I'm not talking to you. But y'all are trying to force us to have lower standards, not realizing that you could raise the bar as a collective as men, because that could happen too. There's just that, I'm just saying. And the last point is that there's healed women but unhealed men. Let's be honest, we all know this already. It's 2025. We know men have things that they don't even know they need to heal from. They just think of it as regular, or something that just happened in their past, or they have childhood traumas that they could never ever talk about. And it shows up in ways in relationships that women can't necessarily pinpoint, but we know it's an issue. But they also aren't doing what they need to heal. Like, they're not in therapy, they're not finding ways to cope, and they're not finding ways to say, hey, this is what I went through and this is what needs to happen to be a better person, or to get through this, or to not have this affect me and my relationship. So there's a huge lack of self-awareness that I think women as a collective are starting to see, and it is something that can be changed, because something that I think women do pretty well is being self-aware. It's why we're able to identify so many issues within ourselves and within the world as a whole. A lot of it is that some men don't want to be touched or bothered with self-growth, and they just think, oh, that's a feminine thing, that's what women do. You know, the hyper masculinity talks that they do with each other or to themselves. It's just like, I don't really need that in life, that's not what you need to succeed in life, blah 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 blah, all that stuff, right? I just think it creates an emotional imbalance within society, and that's a problem, and it contributes to all of the reasons I said in this video as to why dating in 2025 is very, very hard for women. I'm not trying in no way, shape, or form, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I am not trying to bash men. I'm not trying to say y'all suck. I'm not trying to say men ain't shit. I'm not trying to say men, you know, X, Y, and Z, whatever you're gonna say in the comments. I'm not saying any of that. Everything I mentioned in this video, I think it's something that men can change, so that, you know, the dating scene or the dating pool that everyone says has piss, pee, and poop in it can change. These are things that are fixable, but like the saying goes, it takes two to tango. Like, there's stuff women have to work on and there's stuff that men have to work on, but if we collectively just talk and complain about it, nothing's ever going to change. And this is why we see a decline in marriage and, you know, families and, you know, X, Y, and Z. It's just like, these are stuff that can change. And I think on both sides, both men and women, there are things that are pretty shitty about dating each other. But this channel here, we're talking about women because I'm a woman. So that's why I'm just saying, these are just some, definitely not all. So, you know, women, make sure you get in the comments and... because I already know some men about to get when they see this video, but make sure you get in the comments, women, and mention some of the points that I might have left out, or even how you feel about some of the topics I mentioned. And, you know, I'll definitely hit you back and we can definitely have a conversation with each other. We can have a conversation amongst each other about some of the things I mentioned in this video, or even new things that you might add to the comments. So let's talk about this. I want to see what y'all have to say. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. I want to say to everyone, I think we can all have, I think there's someone for everyone. There's a reason, like, I have my tattoos that resemble love. I think there's love out there for everyone. It may just look a little different for our day and age. So, you know, keep trying. I don't know, like, you know, maybe that person will find you, maybe they won't, maybe you'll find a different type of love. Who knows?
Do you want to know how you get the relationship of your dreams? It is not by pulling back. It is not by acting like a bitch. It is not by acting disinterested. It is not by pretending you're busy. It is by loving with your entire heart. It is by being vulnerable. It is by risking looking dumb. It is by risking getting your heart broken. It is by risking getting abandoned, getting rejected. That is how you get the love that you want. That is how you get the relationship that you want. We need to stop teaching the woman on these apps that in order to get the man that they want, in order to become the it girl, you need to close off, put up a couple walls, be nasty, pull back, play games. Like, we are so backwards on these apps nowadays. Like, that is how you wind up in a runner chaser dynamic. That is how you wind up in unfulfilled, disconnected, surface level relationships, because that is how you wind up being petrified to open up, be vulnerable, be yourself. Because what we're teaching people, or women really nowadays, is to put on a front, put on an act, put on this facade that you are this kind of woman, and that's how you'll get the man. And then when it comes time, when it's showtime for you to be yourself and open up and be vulnerable, you're fucking scared shitless to do so. Because you've put on this act now of trying to win the man over. I get what you're thinking right now. I get that you're thinking, well, anytime I love with my whole heart, anytime that I'm vulnerable, that gets me hurt, that gets me left. That's not the point. The point is being so okay with yourself and so safe and regulated within yourself that you trust wholeheartedly that you will be okay if that happens. You will be okay if you get left. You will be okay if your love gets rejected. You will be okay if someone just ups and leaves you one day and decides that it's not you for them anymore. You have to understand that there is always a great risk with a great reward. Of course, it is so scary to consider, again, being rejected, being hurt, being left, being not good enough, or feeling not good enough. Of course, that's the fear, but the reward is winding up in a relationship where you are completely yourself, you are completely vulnerable, you are safe, you are connected, you are just all of these beautiful things. You're not going to get that by playing the games that you are being taught to play on these apps. I promise you it's not going to happen. You might wind up in like a chaser runner high for a little bit, but you are not going to get the depth that you are seeking. Learn to find safety within yourself and okayness within yourself and trust within yourself, and stop listening to these games and start loving with your whole fucking heart. Start being vulnerable. Start being so okay with just being you, because you know what? Maybe it didn't work for the first 10 guys, and maybe it's not going to work for the next 5, but it will be the world to somebody one day. And that's the connection that you want, where there are no games, there are no calculations, there is no doing this right or doing that wrong, or did I answer too quickly, or there is none of that when it is right. There is none of that when you were just you. When you are just you. So stop listening to these toxic games that people are telling you to play, and just be yourself and run the risk, because the reward is the whole point of life. Honestly, the reward is a deep, connected, beautiful love that withstands anything and follows you into every lifetime. Like, that's how you get that. It's not by playing games. It's by risking getting hurt, and it's by being you, and it's by loving with your entire fucking heart.
But it's hard out here right now, and I think collectively we're all going through it, whether we realize it or not. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will definitely see you in my next one. Bye.